Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage Garden, and today is the day we're going to sow our last seed for the Grow at Home 2026 challenge that I'm doing with my friend Vita from Budget Gardening with Vita and my other good friend Roxana from Soil and Margaritas. I'll link their information below so you can go over and check out their channels. They're fantastic garden content creators and they have so much great information to share, so be sure to check out their channels. So in today's video, I'm going to be sowing the zinnias that we had planned. So let's get to it. So guys, I turned the camera down so you can see my containers. Basically what I did is I just pre-filled my containers with some moistened but not wet soil mix. And today I'm using the Coast of Maine Bar Harbor blend. I'm not sure if that's readily available to everybody, but if you're in New England, I know you can get it. It's a great product. So that's what I'm using for today's soil. And the seeds we are sowing are the linen seeds from Johnny's. These are the linen zinnia seeds. And my packet has 50 seeds in it, although I did give a bunch to Vita. We shared the package, so I'm not sure how many I have here, but let me give you a little close-up look of what this zinnia seeds look like. Because zinnia seeds are very big and easy to work with, as you can see. Oh, it's not really focusing great, guys, sorry. And they want to be sown like a 1/4 inch deep. So I'm just going to pop these on, and I think I'm going to do 2 per container. And if you're wondering why I am sowing these in these bigger containers instead of broadcasting them like I did last time with the marigolds, and here they are. Look how nice these are. I usually broadcast in these 5x5 trays and then I pot them up. But we are so close right now to my last frost date and I'm so behind on potting up. Maybe at the end I will show you all my grow racks and show you how far behind I am on potting up this year. It's really sad. But anyways, I'm thinking I'm going to pot these up today if I can. Give them a little better chance. So speaking of frost dates, so I'm in zone 7B. But when it comes to planting, you really have to look at the last frost date and kind of ignore the zone. The USDA zone is not a good indicator of when you should put things outside. It's really your last frost date. And my last frost date is April 18th, which I believe is tomorrow. I could have planted these right outside if I went strictly by my last frost date. But what you have to do is when your last frost date approaches is take a look at that forecast. And I live in a very wonky climate. I think that's not uncommon. So like this week, it was literally close to 70 for a few days here. It was gorgeous. But like Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, like 3 days from now, it's going to get down to 36. So I wouldn't want my zinnias outside in 36 degrees temperature. So really, really, the last frost date is the true indicator. But even if you hit your last frost date, you have to look at your weather forecast. Look at that 10-day forecast and decide if it's going to be optimal to plant outside or not. Now, I am hardening off currently many of my plants. That's why I can actually sow these now because I had no room on my grow racks, guys. That's what really held me up from potting up and everything is that I ran out of room on my grow racks. I planted way too much. And that is the risk when you broadcast sow like this. Like, do I really need... How many zinnias are in here? Like, boop. I broadcasted my tomatoes and I wanted like maybe 10 plants and I have 88 plants, guys. So that is the risk you take when you broadcast sow. Because I just can't like throw away plants. It's just not in my nature. So, I even have a hard time thinning. So I'm going to put 2, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm going to put 2 in each of these cells. Zinnias don't mind being separated. They don't really mind the root disturbance. So just to make better use of space, I'm going to put 2 in each, and when I plant them out, I can separate them. Almost done here, guys. In the second part of this video, I am going to try to pot up some of my marigolds, and oh gosh, I got to show you my petunias. They're very sad. I just put like so many in there. This is what happens when I start talking. I put so many in there. That's okay. The problem with not potting up is these plants could be a heck of a lot bigger if I had just potted them up. There we go. Let's put these ones back for now. Maybe I'll use these because it's not that many, but just for time's sake, I'm going to pop them in there. And now I'm just going to kind of press them under the soil a little bit. Just a little bit. I can't even see where I put the seeds now. And then you can either just carve them up a little bit or just grab a little soil like I have right here. here and sprinkle it over the top. So as I was saying before, like we had some really nice weather. I got a chance to get out there and prune my roses. Some of the roses this year I am going to edit and move around a little bit, so I didn't prune those, but I pruned all the rest. And all of my panicle hydrangeas I hit really hard this year. So they were getting out of control, outgrowing the space. So I hit them really hard. And I kind of made a video of that, so I will be sharing that with you guys probably next after I put this video up. There we go. Perfect. So I am going to sprinkle the tops with a little vermiculite. This isn't necessary, but it helps keep like the fungus down a little bit from growing, the algae on the top, and also helps retain a little moisture. I have the vermiculite, so I'm going to use it. You certainly don't have to. And I hope if you're joining along at the Grow Along, you're sharing your results. That'll be kind of fun to see for all of us. There we go. And I am going to mist this in, but I'm going to do it later because I don't want to get all my seeds that I have on the table wet. Let me show you some of my plum vein, Easy Way plum vein petunias. I have these in these tiny 6-packs, but look at the roots, guys. These things are so ready to be potted up. They could have been a lot bigger had I potted them up sooner. Now, I planted these on 2/27, so these poor little seedlings have been in these tiny little containers for almost 2 months. But guys, like I said before, I just didn't have the space on my grow racks to pot all this stuff up. So I'm going to do it today. So I'm going to pot them up to here. Not a huge step up in how big they are, but these are probably going to go out in the next couple of weeks. So at least these ones will give them a little more room to grow. So I pre-filled all the containers and easy enough to pop these out. These are actually the Bootstrap Farmer containers, and they have a big hole. You just put your finger in and pop them out. The thing is, they're kind of a little stuck together. Ooh, these are a little dry. I'll be sure to water these in really well. But it's gonna take my little dibbler, make a little hole, and press them in. Oh, you can tell they're dry. See how they're kind of floppy? That's it, guys. It's easy as that. Just gonna give myself a little more space. I'm not going to do all of these with you, but I just wanted to give you kind of an example. Oh my gosh, these are all grown together. I'm trying to gently pull them apart. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's a little floppy because it needs water, but they look great. Pop it in. Excellent. I'm going to give these a hard water. And actually, I'm going to use, oh, I don't have it with me, but I'm going to use my Neptune's Harvest fish emulsion fertilizer and give these a good drink because they're soup. You can almost tell by the weight. If they feel really light like this, they're definitely dry. But look at those roots, guys. I waited way too long. They'll probably be fine, but this is not ideal. But when you're growing thousands of seedlings like I do, and you know, time isn't on your side, as you know, spring is a very busy time outdoors for us. And I'm behind in that also because our weather was really bad this year. It didn't cooperate with me. I haven't even planted out my peas yet. Usually by now, never mind peas. I haven't even planted out my ranunculus and my anemone. All my cool flowers aren't out. My snapdragons are blooming in their trays. They need to get out in the yard. They are hardening off. They're almost ready. So if I get a decent day this week to get them out in the garden, I'm going to prep my garden beds and get those out there. It's really important to get those out or else I'm not going to have my beautiful spring flowers. And I love those. Last one out of the 6-pack, and then I'll move on to the marigolds. That's a different process because they're in the 5x5s all together. I like potting up. I always run out of room and time. Okay, now let's work on our tray of marigolds. These might be tough because I'm sure the roots are all stuck together. And the other thing is, guys, don't forget to label. I use oh, look at my tape. It's covered with dirt. Remember I told you I'm the goofy gardener. I'm not poised or put together. But it is real. This is real life, guys. Look at my tape. I got it all dirty. Luckily, I have more. But make sure you put labels. Like I'll put tape and label all these out. But I don't want to waste your time by doing that on camera. So Like I said, these might be tough. I'm gonna have my little spoon here to dig them out, my little screwdriver. I might have to flip the whole thing over and take the whole tray out if they're really stuck. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna look at what they look like. Oh yeah. Not as terrible as I thought they would be. I thought they'd be a lot worse. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try breaking one apart. See how we do. Sometimes you can split it right down the middle like this. Come apart pretty easily. Just gently pull them apart. And we'll go this way. I'm making a hot mess here. And keep going until you have one single plant. Gently pull. If you break some of the roots, that's okay. They're pretty tough. All right, first one. Now, I just did something. Did you see what I did? I did something wrong. I was holding it by the stem. You want to either hold it by the root ball or the leaf, okay? Because if you hold it by the stem and you pinch the stem too tight, you have essentially just blocked off all the nutrition from the roots in the soil from getting to the plant. If you break off a leaf, no harm, no foul. Oh my gosh, this thing's starting to bud. If you break off a leaf, it will just grow another leaf. It's not a big deal. But if you squeeze the stem, the plant's done. So I'm just going to take my little dibble. Make sure you make it deep enough for the roots to go all the way down. So this has pretty long roots on it, see? So I'm going to make my hole pretty deep. And then just gently place it in. Just like this. Make sure if there's roots on top, you cover them with soil. Give it a little press in. And that's one. Excellent. Let's do another one together. Sometimes I pat this to make sure the soil settles. So I just give it like a little bang. Sorry, I'm shaking the whole camera because I have my camera mounted on the table right now. Let's break apart one more. This one looks good because it's falling off anyways. There we go. Holding it by the root ball or the leaf. Tucking those roots in. There we go. Oh, I just held it by the stem. Do as I say, not as I do. I was holding it very, very, very gently. Give it a little press. I'm going to add a little soil to this one because I see some roots on the top. So I'm just going to add a little soil on top. There we go. How cute that looks. I will give these a really good water with some fertilized water. Then I'm going to do the rest off camera because the other thing you don't want to start something like this and then just leave them hanging to dry out. Once you start, you really should have enough time to finish. And do I have enough time? Not really. I have dinner reservations and look at me, I'm covered in mud. So typical. But I thought I had a little bit of time and I know how behind I am and I wanted to get it done. All right, there we go. So as promised, I'll give you a little bit of what I'm growing here. I'm not going to go through each plant, but as you can see, these sad cosmos, they need to be potted up. That's amaranth in the back. I don't even know what this is, but it doesn't look too great. What is this? Oh, eggplants. I have some of this. This is really cool. This is called honeywort. Oh, I have some bunny tail grass, but I'm not going to go through each plant, but I have some more up here. But look at these petunias. Look at these. Look at the size of this flower. So obviously next year I'm going to start these a little later because look, they're all flowering out here. But this is called a Super Bismarck Cosmic Cherry, I believe it's called. It's this ruffled, and look at how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh. What if it has a fragrance? Sniff test. Yeah, it does have a slight fragrance, and they're edible, and they supposedly taste like cherry. Am I going to try it? I don't know. But they do come in a little bit of a variant color too. See that one? Gorgeous. And here are some of my tomatoes down here. Growing nicely. Some coleus. I have coreopsis, gomphrena. All this stuff needs to be potted up. I do have room on my grow racks now because a lot of my stuff is outside hardening off. And then over here, I have more. Look at this coleus. Oh, so pretty. This is sapiglossis. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. What is this? Oh, I think that is silver wave petunia, possibly. Oh, yes, because here's some more, and these are blooming. Silver Wave Petunias. These are one of my favorite petunias. They grow, they're so lovely. Guys, and this is something I wanted to share. Remember I told you I was going to try growing cacti from seed? I didn't think they would germinate, but they have. Look at all those baby cacti. Now these were a mix, so I'm very curious to see what these turn out to be when they grow. Isn't that cool? Those are my little cacti. I have peppers, more tomatoes. These are impatiens. I believe these are sun patiens. They're not blooming yet, but look how gorgeous these plants look, guys. Don't they look so nice? Sorry, it's not very good lighting. I'm super excited to get these things outside. And I forgot over here, I have some rudbeckia, some geraniums. All of this stuff needs desperately to be potted up. Look at these. Oh my gosh, what are these? Oh, these are coreopsis trying to bloom in the little 6-cell packs that have been in here. Look at the roots. Oh, so late. So guys, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining. And if you're enjoying the content, you can follow along, subscribe to my channel, or give me a thumbs up or a comment. I love the comments, so please do share if you're growing any of these. It does not have to be these varieties, but if you're growing any marigolds, any zinnias, or any petunias, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you as always for your support. Check out my friends Roxana at Soil Margaritas and Vita at Budget Gardening with Vita and see how they're progressing with their grow along. So I'm going to get to work trying to get all these seedlings potted up before my dinner reservation tonight. Oh, it's crunch time, guys. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, get out there and grow. Bye. So until next time, so again, check out my two friends down below. Check out my, okay guys. So I'm going to get to work trying to finish potting up all these seedlings. So I'm going to get to work potting up all these seedlings